Fire, what you saying?
Shukru, you know? There I go with it.
Serious thing. We are here again, bald head and the Drake. Give thanks for everyone tuning in from those times to now. Fire, what reason about today?
Yeah, unhealthy men are a liability to their family. I'm going to repeat it again. Unhealthy men are a liability to their family. We need for overstand that. Just think about it for a second.
All right, fire. And I have to give a disclaimer before we even start. It's not to criticize anyone with any health issues. Things do happen, right? So we're aware of that because we don't have full control to a certain extent in regards to our health. With that said now, right? Brothers, you need to take your health serious.
True.
The thing out of hand these days because you have too many brothers that are dropping dead from nonviolent things, whether around that 25 to 45 age, gone, not there. The issue I'm noticing now is that when the brothers do transition, there's no thought of transition, so there's no preparation financially for their family, no form of insurance, any assets that are there. But more than anything, I was kind of jumping ahead. I need to jump back to say, when you're unhealthy, you're a liability to your family because when you're unhealthy, you're not working at the optimal state you can mentally, right? So that's the first issue. Then now your earning potential decreases because your ability to produce has decreased. And your interaction with your family now becomes a problem because especially if you're really sick, the family now has to take care of you. And I want to be clear, I'm not criticizing anyone who is sick or things that come on, but we have to be more proactive for our health and we have to fight to make sure we're at an optimal health so we can be, one, an example for our family and provide the guidance, protection, and financial resources so the household could be on the heights, you know?
So whether we like it or not, whoever might find the message weird, men are seen as a pillar of strength.
Facts.
And that is something that's a reality that we can't change, or even if you're going to change it, you can't change it in no time, and I don't see why you should change it. Depending, there's conditions within it that needs to be changed. But anywho, we have to understand that being a pillar of strength, it means that there are people who rely on your strength, whether it be men from a mental prowess or whether it be from a physical prowess, which is often the part of most people focus on, and not the mental part of the whole thing.
Spiritual too.
Spiritual thing too. You have to be spiritually strong. So with all of these things, if you are unhealthy, you can't really fulfill that responsibility or that obligation that is placed upon you, not just as the individual, but as a man in the environment that you are in. And now that deteriorate the walls, the nucleus walls now of the environment that you're in, and then it's certain different things start to seep in now, and that's when the whole system start get destroyed. Your internal system that you were a part of as a man start get destroyed, and that by that internal system we're talking about the family structure that you're a part of.
No, facts. And there's a certain level of discipline that comes with maintaining yourself that spills over to other aspects of your life. I'm not saying you can't. I haven't really seen it, Tate. I'm gonna keep it real with you. I haven't really seen a man that's kind of have compartmentalized discipline, right? And things function. Let me be clear, right? People do have it, but it's not functioning on a holistic level, right? And you need to be disciplined in all aspects of your life for this thing to work. And in regards to the health, what I'm noticing with the men is that you can make all the excuses you want for drinking, smoking, and doing certain things, but the question you have to ask, are these things beneficial to your body and your mind? And it's coming from a man that used to do all these things. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like a passing judgment because I've been there and I understand. But the question you have to ask is that these things that you're engaging in, how are they beneficial to you outside of escaping for a moment?
Wait, you see, here's the thing. I'm like what they inside for everybody, but I feel like in this case and this instance, we don't want over-sensite and over play upon the thought process of most people, like if say, okay, if be careful, because here why the statistics show it. It's something we really are showing is a concerning thing. You see, we talk about crime, you know. One, we talk about crime, like violent crimes, gun and all of these things. Who are the more than 70%, more than 80%, probably more than 80% that's dying? Men. we talk about health conditions, where more than 80% are dying. Men.
Facts.
With any type of condition we want to talk about, who are dying the most? Men. So the fact that there is proof in the statistics and with daily life, where we see, where we talk about we talk about lack of stability when it comes to control governing an estate. Who have that the least? Men. So with all of these different things so we have to talk about, we can't go around it and we not have a sensite none at all, because I would not have to try to say, let's ensure that we be careful of this. No, it's the reality. It's the reality.
No,
if you can't feel away. No, normally me are the person what tell I say, we are going to sensite. But the fact is, we are trying to show the people them health shaming or what. No, you have to move, because it's no health shaming nor this nor that. That sometimes we have to just talk it raw, and the people have to understand say, this is the reality. And the fact that most men have a form of informality about them. Just generally, it's just a reality of nature. Yeah. Most men have an informal type of approach. But you see, when the informal type of approach start break with so much that there is no foundation and no structure, it's concerning. I'm concerned about majority of the brothers them out there right now, man. Tell them.
No, I really am. And I see it that there's such a connection between your physical health and your mental health. Mm-hmm. So, and a lot of the brothers are suffering in both areas. Mm-hmm. And it's quite evident why, because the neglect of the body, and I understand we have, depending on work hours and responsibilities, but you have to find that time to take care of yourself, or you're not going to be around, Fire. Mm-hmm. You're just not going to be around. And if you are around, it's like you're here, but you're not really here.
That's worse.
And that's what a lot of people are going through now, and that's what a lot of families are going through now. There are a lot of families that are in the house taking care of the man in the house that is physically incapable of functioning or working because the body is broken down.
Mm-hmm. And that's stressing.
Very stressing. Very stressing. It changes the dynamic of the household, because if you have a 2-income household, now you're down to 1 with extra expenses for medical care for that person. And even with watching the kids and that type of vibe of helping around the house, you don't have that because this person is not capable of doing it consistently. Especially when they have things that could be avoided by your lifestyle. I understand things do happen. Things do happen that kind of put you in a bind. I'm not talking about that.
Yeah.
I'm talking about your eating habits.
That is the exception.
I'm talking about your mental habits, your sleeping habits, the things you're consuming, the extracurricular activities, the substances that you're putting in your body consistent. I don't think you're going to drink 24/7 all day, every day, and life is going to be sweet. It's going to pop you down eventually. You can't smoke all day, Fire. It's going to pop you down eventually. And you can't, whatever pills or coke or whatever else, you can't do it all day because the body's not made for those things. Because what they say is, I'm good now. That's what people always say, I'm good now. But for how long? And when the breakdown comes, it comes quick. It's not really a gradual breakdown. It just seems like body just a quick breakdown.
Old people used to say we're sweet and more, so I not believe it.
Big time, you know? So the brothers, we spoke about this previously, but we're really emphasizing you have to get some form of workout regimen. You have to figure out to get some time for yourself, whether that's walking, meditation, or just being quiet, being offline. You have to implement these things to be at your optimal self. Because dread out here for a man, especially a black man, is terrible and rough.
Yes,
so you got to be well equipped when you leave your house every day. You can't just be out here lollygagging. It's not going to work. It hasn't been working, and we can see it's not working.
Not working at all. The worst type of destruction is self-destruction. And
Facts.
I tell people all the time, like, we need to understand this. Imagine all odds are against us, or most odds, whatever we want to call it. These odds are stacked against us, and we stack more odds against ourselves. You know how crazy that is when we stack odds against ourselves. So who is it? Who is the enemy now to me? Am I my own enemy? Or is my enemy an external one? You don't have the answer.
I want to add another thing too, man, with this health thing, is that men need to use their money for the necessities that's needed at the house. I'll never forget this fight. I'll never forget this, yo. I was at the airport minding my business. I wasn't being nosy. I want to be clear. It was the I don't know if it was an early or late flight, but it was dark outside, and I was just chilling there. And the dudes that I guess do with the bagging, for whatever reason, they were there congregating, talking with another person, right? So this man was talking about, he was talking about how he had no money, but then he was talking about how he takes singles to go to the shop. I'll never forget this conversation. He was talking about singles in strip club, right? And I was within myself, like loud. You know how people talk, right? I was within myself saying, hold on. This the same. Now you gotta laugh now. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like the people that he was with ain't really pick up what the man said. So this man was just complaining about his money, right? But then he was talking about how he'd be changing out or getting all these singles to go to the strip club. And I was just saying, like, man, that's one of the issues in regards to prioritizing fire. Like, you're adding stress on your life. Because if you're already struggling financially, right, you need to find another healthier outlet for yourself. Because if you're struggling financially and you're giving away money at the strip club, that's not helping your situation, and you're causing more stress for I don't know how long you're there, hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, but you think that 3 hours is actually a detriment to you.
Yeah.
And that's how people don't pre it, because like, you got the next thing with the men. They don't want to hear, but it is what it is. It's the next trend. The men with 1,000 sneakers. That's the next problem, and the clothes and all this stuff. And it's like, fight, you doing all these things, but the main things that need to be taken care of aren't taken care of.
Not there.
You're not paying your bills on time. You're not dealing with certain stuff to make sure home base is solid. You're doing all these other things. It's added stress. You're adding stress on yourself.
And then when the woman them on a certain levels now, these men were irresponsible. When a woman them start pressure them for certain things now, they make it look like it's an unbearable type of expectation the women them are placed on them, when in truth and in fact, if you did a your role or play your role, probably the pressure would have less.
And stay to the basics, fine.
And stay to the
basics.
You're
deviating and doing extra stuff you can't do, and you need to deal with the basics.
And these things, enough ones might have wonder how important this reasoning is. But we talk about the same health again, same way. These things are unhealthy, and it'll lead towards the deterioration of our mind function, our family function. And something I'm really happy. I mentioned the strip club something a while ago. I'm still alive. But based off of that, something when we really noticed by being in the street, because there's a man who live in the streets too. There's a lot of men. I don't know where this came from when it was introduced, but something going on, right? A lot of men are practically pimping out their woman right now.
Yeah.
For get things from other men for so the households can function.
That's been going on, fire. That's been going on. I think with social media now, because I always heard about that when I was younger, but I think maybe social media now, they're more vocal about it. But they've been doing that, fire.
Fire, that's one of the weirdest and strangest thing I could say. I'm no like that now take away from your manhood and your intention to strive as a man within the society and set some form of example. Imagine have all a son or the message where you push to your daughter, where to really teach.
Fire, they're not preying that, yeah. This man people who do that, fire, they're already gone, yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Problem.
That's the problem. So like, they're already gone, and it just shows a weakness in a sense, because I noticed too, man, is that I have to say in their defense, I will say that, right? Because I've been working on in their defense, right? But not in reality, right? Now, serious, listen to what I'm saying, Fire. Listen to this.
Yeah.
I know I bring up that teaching thing, Fire, but it's the greatest experience because I really was able to see the source of the behavior. You have a lot of young brothers out here that don't have any skills.
I know that.
You get what I'm saying? So they don't have any skills now, and out of desperation, they find themselves doing foolishness like that, using a lady to, get money from other men. But in a lot of the brothers' defense is that they don't have skills. But what I would say to that is that you need to humble yourself and find those skills. And for the younger brothers, don't put yourself in a position where you don't have skills. You need and that's the thing right now. It's rough out here because you need so many skills to make a livable wage.
Yeah.
You have to be very, very smart and up to date on different things because things change so much, right? And like, I just encourage your brothers out there to really tone down what you consume and spend time in really developing skills that can higher the probability of you earning enough to take care of your family. Because it's just like it's a skill crisis we're in right now. You're forced out of the market because you can't provide anything to the market, and that's what we're really seeing. And the market's already biased towards black men, and you don't have skills, like you just don't have the skill set to provide anything where someone will compensate you. And that's what we're seeing right now, and the brothers are giving up. But the issue is now, if you have dependents, you're not in no position to give up.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? If you by yourself and want to give up, then go knock yourself out. But once you have people dependent on you, fight, like giving up is not an option. You need to figure it out. And we're not talking about figure it out in a legal thing where you get locked in a box and you're still of no value. But you need to get yourself together and learn something and start to grow and grind it out. Because once you have dependence, it's a game changer.
Yeah, I think most of them need to see it from that perspective. And I think this lack of vision thing is the next thing we really contribute to this, because I don't think majority of the men, if they actually had a vision, they would have been unhealthy, because if you have a vision, you understand that there are certain things and certain processes where you need to maintain to ensure that the vision can actually be fulfilled. And most of the men them seem to just be kind of loosey goosey in a way where it's just on the go. For now, there's no form of short term plan we can eventually move to a medium and become a long term plan. And that is something we really need to start think about it, because it really a mess up our life and the direction of our life, knowing the role where men play in the whole family structure. Even if I mean, I thought we mentioned family being unhealthy, it disrupts the family. But when we think about this too, even men who don't have children need to start think about these things and adhere to these particular principles that are going to help develop them health. Because it's when you think about family structure, it's not just about having children.
Facts.
You know, if I have children for have a particular routine, a structure that keep you healthy and make you can function. Because there's some from a family that still rely on you, whether it be for an advice,
Facts.
whether it be for
example,
a small example, a small financial contribution. There's always some form of symbiotic relationship that exists when it comes to the sphere of family. And we have to understand our role within that.
And Far, you brought up a great point in regards to example. Before, I used to say how information is still segregated, right?
Mm-hmm.
But in these times, if you actually wanted to be exposed to a certain level of example, you could. Too many times we don't understand what a good example is,
Mm-hmm.
and we don't pull from it. So for instance, now, if you're in an environment, well, I say how I grew up, right? It's a shame to say this, but it seems like the family man was the cornball.
Yeah.
Right? Wife, stable, all the kids in the house, go to work consistently. He was like a loser in a sense. Boring. Now, the person with the confusion, now they were more praised. And the more I kind of think about this concept, I have to retract on what I said in regards to examples, because the examples are there, but they don't want that example. They don't want to, I don't say if they don't want is the proper term, but they can't see the value in the example that they disregard, and they don't see the detriment of the example that they praise,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because it's quick, attention, flashy, loud. That's what I want to replicate. Disregarding the realities that come with that. Even for the young ladies, it's mind-boggling when you think about it, right? Like, there's this infatuation with, fast money, people who sell drugs or into fast things. But it's like, he gonna be gone fast. It's the inconsistency of the money, right? The high probability of death and the higher probability of jail. So you don't want anything long-term. You don't want a long-term thing in a man.
Mm-hmm.
You just want more hype thing. We need to move from the hype thing. We need to praise stability. We need to praise people who've been in business for 20 years. You know what I'm saying? Or even the man that worked somewhere for 20 years, because that's excuse me. That's a level of commitment and courage and dealing with ups and downs, because you know how the environment is. You got to be a strong person to deal with that. So it's just like we're looking at things from the wrong way, and I think that's what's flopping us out. And I said that to say is that I'm starting to no longer say about examples, because I feel examples are there. They just don't want that example, and they don't see the value in that example.
You just bring a new point to my brain. We have to put some farmer accountability and the sisters, the woman them, because you have a role to play when it comes to the deterioration of a man too. Where we need to acknowledge, right? When you think about health, if you think about physical health, there's no way you should be around a man and not encourage him to be physically active. When we say physically active, like take care of him body or do some form of exercise or stay on that stable path where him need to be, so him brain can function the right way. And there's no way you should be around a man or encouraging the habits of a man who is not thinking logically, thinking from a sane perspective, who can have some form of direction towards the outcome of your life. When you think about you and him even sharing a child together, all of these different things. So you can't go without putting your farmer. Have you ever put him in check and let him understand that this is not going to work? We
Can't
need
work
to do
for you.
better. Is there any farmer vision that you have that you would like him to help enhance into a certain level? So we can't go without even acknowledging these things. Because we think about unhealthy men. We have to think about even the woman them where even cook for some of these unhealthy men with all of these salt
If they
content
cooking
and sugar
fire.
content.
Here, I said if they cooking.
Or if you or this girl this woman where if you're not cooking and you have to go above and beyond now for find this money for eat out and knowing that there's these prices are sky high, we take a toll on him. So all of these different things we have to think we can't just show it one place, we have to show it the next one and make sure say them realize that there's a role to play in all of this too.
No, facts. And I'm gonna share this, man. Like I really thank my wife for me being fit.
Yeah.
Because if she can't be fit, I can't be over here pop down. You know what I'm saying? It's not gonna work, you know? So it's like she kind of, you know, and just eating in that vibe. So she really set the tone in that in regards to accountability. Because her thing is like, say you eat certain things, right? She on the vibe where it's like, say we eat something, right? So she'd be like, man, we're not eating that till 2 months later to balance it out. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, what if it was a free for all in the house?
Yeah.
You
know, lose control.
Yeah, yes. But I think sisters need to have that conversation with other sisters to understand what's needed in the role that they play, and for them to set the example. And it's really a team game. Everybody supporting each other, everybody encouraging each other. You know, if a person kind of slipping, give you that encouragement, give you that strength. But more than anything, that example and that discipline, I think we need collectively amongst the households. And in regards to the brothers, man, I just really encourage you to and you may have to distance yourself. That's the thing you don't understand. Like if you're in a crew where it's like, you know, everybody going to eat certain things for you may have to distance yourself till you get yourself together and you're strong enough to stand firm.
Yes.
There's a unlimited amount of information available online in regards to eating healthy. I encourage you to stay away from the weird fads. The main thing is consistency. That's all. The main thing is consistency, getting your greens and getting your fruits in, getting outside, getting some sun, walk, exercise if you can, join a gym, play a sport, do your stretching, but you have to get active. You have to work on your mind. And I think there's a balance. There's too much emphasis on the body for vain reasons, and there's not enough emphasis on your mind. I think just as much as you work on your body, you should work on your mind. And they really will support each other. I think that's the part, I should have said that earlier, but as much time as you spend working on your body, I think you should spend working on your mind. You have to find out what that looks like for yourself.
Yes.
You know, because the mind, we neglect the mind so much.
Internal, external. It's a mental thing before it becomes physical. And that's why the man them need to know this. So you keep yourself up to date and modern. You have to be fresh, sharp.
Have to be sharp, you know? And I just want to, I don't want to leave without saying what I mean by working out on your mind. Watching your thoughts. I think journaling is a great thing. Meditating if you can. Breathing exercises. I think walking is amazing, especially if you're able to walk. No headphones. Just walk. Just walk. Give yourself, because the main thing, you have to give yourself, your mind, time to avoid the constant race that's going on.
Yes.
And the more you do that, the better off you'll be, and you learn more things about yourself, and you learn what is beneficial. That's the wild part. Yeah. As you learn more about yourself, you'll learn what's needed for your body to work at optimal level.
Self. It's very, very important. The first rule of nature is to preserve oneself, and we can't neglect that.
Yeah, so fire, we're not on the pot belly thing, yeah.
No.
You're not a thing already, you know. So the men out there, you gotta get yourself together, and you really have to really kind of have that warrior spirit where you want to be healthy, not from a vain reason. I think that's what pop people down, because if you what I've witnessed throughout life is if you approach this health thing for vain reasons, very short term, gonna burn out quick. You know,
you need trending.
Yeah. You need a different. You need a different thing to encourage you to get out there and take care of yourself consistently. You know.